Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Let Me Touch You podcast. I am your host, Barbara, also known as Barbie. Today I have two amazing guests with me. Guys, introduce yourselves.
What's up? This is Haydee from Ladies Pitch.
And
Hey, yo, man, what up? It's your boy Reggie Roundz, aka Mr. Roundz, baby, from the Reggie Roundz Show. Ooh.
I swear to God, it always makes me laugh.
Always.
All the time. So today we're going to be discussing a topic that I actually thought of while I was listening to Hades live the other day. You was on live with Mike, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he made a comment as towards women not being able to do certain things when raising a boy into becoming a man. So from there on, I went online and I put up a post where it asks, can a woman raise a boy to be a man? Yes, but she shouldn't have to. Another podcaster went and started discussing that on an episode, and I'm going to play a little clip for you guys. And Haydee and Reggie, you let me know your thoughts on this clip. I'll let you know my thoughts, and then we'll take it from there. So let me play it for you guys.
But then I also asked myself this question: were you born and raised in a two-parent household? Was your father in your life? Because maybe you think that you can, emulate that, or what you think a man is supposed to be. But if not, then how in the hell, where are you pulling these resources from? Where are you pulling it from?
From old boyfriend.
But then again,
like a man
to be.
Right.
Sure. But are you single? Because if you are single, then all right, what happened in these relationships? And did they end toxic? You can't even pick a man correctly in your bedroom. How in the hell you really supposed to raise a young man to be something? I mean, that's just how I feel. And I got two sons. So I can try to guide what I think a man is supposed to be, but I can't. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Okay, so that was her opinion. That opinion comes from from the Anything Goes podcast. So on the post that I put up asking that question, I feel that it is possible for a woman to raise a boy to become a man. And on that comment, she disagreed with what I said. And, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. That's what we're here for. I'm not here to convince anybody that they have to agree with what I'm saying. Whatever I discuss is based on my personal experience, what I've gone through in life, what I go through with my children. So number one, to answer her question, yes, my father was in my life. Were my parents together? No. But that's something that didn't interfere with their parenting at all. Whenever there was events, graduations, weekends, everything, my father was there for me physically, emotionally, and financially. Am I single? Yes. Everybody knows I'm single. I mention that all the time. I'm a single mom of 4. And just because I'm single doesn't mean I've chosen the wrong man. So I don't understand if you said that, like trying to throw some jabs at me. But at the end of the day, nobody's perfect. We're all in our 30s. And from what I know, you're single as well. But just because we're single, well, I don't know why you're single. Just because I'm single doesn't mean it's because I chose the wrong man. It's none of your business why I'm single. It's nobody's business why I'm single. But just because I'm single, it doesn't mean shit. I'm still a great mother to my children. They're still father figures in their children's lives. Are they the type of father that's there 24/7? No. But that's where I come in. And that's why I say it's possible for mothers to raise their boys to be men, because I've been doing it. My oldest is 16. My second is 12, and then I have my twins that are 5. Their dads they're there financially. I can stay on the weekends, for basic stuff like that. But throughout the day in, day out, when they're sick, when they have a question about their bodies, any and everything, I'm there to answer it. So I do feel that a mother can raise a boy to be a man, and a man can raise a girl to be a woman. What do you guys think?
I may have to disagree with you on that because of the simple fact, me being a single parent of 2. I do have a daughter that's 8 and I do have a son that's 4. I'm gonna speak about my daughter aspect. It's just I feel like there's certain things that I won't be able to teach my daughter because I am not a woman. Like I don't know how to, properly explain the woman's body, because some women don't even know how to explain their own damn body. You know what I'm saying? So at least for me to tell my daughter about that, I'm not gonna know. I can tell her what I think should be it, but her mom's is the one that would need to actually guide her in the right direction. Because once again, I'm only going off based off like I have sisters, I have mothers, I talk to women, you know what I'm saying? So I probably was, think that's from hearing from everybody else, this is the right way to go. But her actual mother should be the one to let her know what to do when she get her period. Let her know how to handle when you're talking to guys, when you get your first heartbreak. Everything else is a little bit different when it is from a guy's perspective or even from a dad's perspective, you know what I'm saying? Because if somebody come and say that you hurt my baby's heart, I'm gonna say fuck them niggas, know what I mean? But her moms might say something else from a woman's perspective. So that's what it is with me. But then also going to raising a boy to be a man, same thing. It's certain things that you can sit here and tell your son this, but it actually has to come from a man to guide him and let him know and give him those manly things. Because that's just because for me, I grew up in a 2-family home. So, I had my dad tell me one way and I had my mom tell me one way. It's two opposite different ways and opinions still leads to the same, end goal or end result, but you just hear it from a different side. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I would say, I think, a man would need to be in their kids' life, because a man would be able to teach a boy how to be a man and a woman would teach a little girl how to be a woman. That's just off my opinion.
So you feel that they'll get the best of both worlds if they have both mom and dad? Correct. I understand that, yeah. But you see how you said there's some women that don't even understand their own body. That's a point that I made as well yesterday when she commented. I said, there's some men out here that don't even know how to be a man. So how can that type of man teach a boy how to become something he does not even know how to be?
What if that has to deal with because he wasn't never taught? What if his father wasn't in his life? So that's why he doesn't know how to teach somebody how to be a man. That's
a possibility, but I feel that when, for example, like I said, I speak based on my experiences. My boys, all they have is me. I have nothing but sisters. I do have a brother from my father's side. The only guys that they're really around is their male cousins that are within their age range. And that's it. So they're surrounded by nothing but females. So usually what I notice is they'll look, like my 12-year-old, he plays ball. They'll usually look for a mentor somewhere, like his coach. He'll look up to his coach in that certain way. But it's only to have somebody to look at as a role model. I don't think they're needed to just be there to guide them through anything. There's nothing that I can explain to my son that his father can't.
But it's going to hit differently. When you're hearing it from a man or a male figure, it hits differently from, this is my mom's. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. My moms can sit up here and tell me, oh, you got to be this, you got to do this, you got to treat women this way, you got to do this. But then from a male figure, you get that perspective, which is true. Like, yo, you know what I mean? Sometimes you may treat women this, and this way, but they still might end up fucking you over because that's what, you know what I mean? Your mom's is not going to say that. You know what I'm saying?
This mom would. But your dad will. On the mom.
Your dad or a male figure will, you know what I'm saying? So it's just, you're right, it is depending on what type of mom, but it's just still, when you, it's like the thing where I can sit up here and tell, me and you in a relationship, I can sit up here and tell you something to my fucking face turns blue. But when you hear from like Haydee or you hear from somebody else, you're like, oh, but I'm telling you the same exact shit. But when you hear from somebody else, you actually understand and get it and comprehend it same exact way. So my moms can sit up here and tell me this right here, but when I'm hearing it from another guy, like, he's a guy, he knows what he's talking about. You know
I get what you mean. I get it.
He's been there. He done went through the trenches and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you tend to gravitate towards that a little bit more and listen. But if all you have is your mom, so of course you're gonna listen to what your mom is saying, or female, because it's like, if I'm around a whole bunch of females, that means I'm gonna be a little bit more in tune with myself, with a little bit more in tune with women. Sure, not saying that's a fact, but you know, in my opinion, a lot of men that I've known that has been raised around a lot of women, they're a lot more emotional, like in a sense of showing their emotions and everything like that. But then you know, somebody you being raised by your dad or being around that, it's kind of different though.
I get what you're saying.
Let me just ask Reggie a quick question. I'm not a parent, so I can't say if a man is needed or not to raise a boy. I can only tell you based on my experience of being a woman and not having my biological father in my life. I had a male figure, yes. I had a few male figures. I had my stepdad that raised me from the age of 3. I had my grandfather. I had my uncles. You know, I had female figures. I had my mom. I had my grandmother, my aunt. So I can only give you that perspective. But I just wanted to ask Reggie a quick question. In your definition, what constitutes a man? What makes a man a man?
Yeah.
What makes a man to me? Somebody that can provide, somebody that can guide, somebody that can have a sense of stability, somebody that can also lead.
Right.
That's what I mean. Just some of qualifications of what I think what makes a man a man.
Mm-hmm. So, in your opinion, you think that's something that a mother wouldn't be able to provide?
A mother can always provide that,
or try the best of her ability to provide that as much as she can. She can,
yes, but it just is different coming from a male figure.
Okay.
And then once again, this is just my opinion,
right?
And what I was raised on and what it may be, it just hits different from a male's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just for me. It could be different for somebody else, but for me, my moms can sit up here and tell me one thing. My cousins, my aunts can tell me sit up here. But if my uncle, my father, the next door neighbor that I know for years, that I know that he, you know what I'm saying? If he says it, I tend to listen a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
I can agree with you on that.
No, yeah, I can understand that as well. But the point Haydee was gonna be my next thing. You know, what makes a man? Everything that makes a man, we know that. Like, you know, so the same way a man can tell him what is the elements of being a man, me as a mom, I can teach my son the elements of being a man.
You can't teach your son to prepare for it. Like how I can tell my son, hey yo, when you out here in these streets, especially what's going on right now, as a black man or as a you know what I'm saying, yo, it's certain things that only I can explain to my son. Like, yo, you're a man, you gotta make sure you always have your chin up, you always gotta do this, you always look anybody in the eye. You know what I'm saying? You can say that as a mom's as well, but it's not that it doesn't hit how I don't think for me.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Reaction, I'm not trying to take anything away from mothers. Like mothers, they're probably even stronger than us dads. But what I'm saying is that certain things won't hit as hard as it was if it's coming from a man figure and if it was coming from a female figure. That's all.
Okay, so your point is that we can do it, but it hit a little different. It hits stronger when it comes from you guys directly.
Because I know plenty of single mothers out here that's taken care of, that have raised wonderful men, that's going to be wonderful men. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not taking that away at all. It can be done. It is being done. It will be done. It's just that for me, once again, my opinion, not saying that my moms couldn't have done it, but I'm saying like with how when my dad tells me certain stuff, it's like, okay, I hear you. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm a mama's boy. And my mom's love me. I'm a first child. I know sometimes I can manipulate my moms in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? So it won't really be like that. My dad is going to be like, nah, you're going to read through the bullshit. I'm like, no. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Certain things just hit differently. But once again, I am not taking away for none of these successful, single mothers out here that raise quality, great men. That's out here. Trust and believe. It's out here and it's done. So I would never take anything away from that.
And it's crazy because with my oldest, it's the opposite. Like, well, with all 4 of them, I'm the stronger parent. But my oldest tends to manipulate his dad a little more. Like, his dad is a little more softer with him. I guess since he's the absent father, you know how sometimes the absent parent tries to be a little more on the lenient side since they're already not
to make
there.
up for not being there.
I was about to say he's pretty much trying to be the friend because he's trying to fill the lack of void that's there in their child's life. So that's why they want to come off as the friend and all that other stuff. So I get that aspect too.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna front. It's been times like, because the teenage years, people, if you haven't experienced them yet, it's hard. So there were times where my son will be like a little smart ass with his mouth, and I wish I had his dad there, because there's certain things that, like Reggie said, I can say it in my little soft tone, but if his dad said it, the way he speaks with that stern
voice,
yeah,
right?
He'll check him in a heartbeat. So there's been times that they have to call his dad to check him. But still, all in all,
imagine if you didn't have your dad. Imagine if you didn't have his dad to do that.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have responded to you. You see how he talks, look to you.
Yeah, he was how old was he?
I can agree with that.
Yeah, there is certain things that I do agree that it hits harder, Reggie. I agree with you 100%. It hits harder when it comes from y'all, and that's one incident where I had to get his dad and bring him in because, like, I don't know, he wasn't even trying to listen to me. But once his dad came and he checked him, it was good, and it was just like, I'm here all the time with you, and takes one phone call for your dad and you good.
That's how it is with my son. Like, let me tell you something. My son, his mom's sit up there and Phoenix, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And he'll still do it. But the minute I come in, I just give him that look. Are you serious right now? And then after that, all she'll say is like, yo, why does it take your dad have to come on here and tell you no?
That's the infamous line.
Yeah, you stop on the first try, but I'm up here telling you this, and this, and you're giving me a hard time. That's what I'm saying. Like, for instance, she has told me herself that, God forbid, if I wasn't in my kid's life, it would be hard for her because the type of kid that we have. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's also a thing too, depending on the type of child that you have. Yeah. Because my son, if I'm not there, he's running all over her. Probably. I'm not gonna say he is, but probably. Because he be testing her a lot.
Yeah, but it's tough. They be trying it. But that's why even still to this day, I get up in their face. And my 16-year-old, he's 6'2". My 12-year-old, he's 6 feet. I be in their face. And I get crazy. But I have to, because I have to check them. I'm not going to let them think that, they go like walk all over me, do as they please. It's not going to happen.
But you know what it is too? This is what I'm saying. See, like when my moms used to check me, I know my mom's just checking me. But once it blows over, she's back to mommy again.
These boys, right? They be knowing. No, but me, when I'm pissed, I'm pissed. They be knowing. Okay, so I have a question for you guys. Do you think there's any negative aspects of, for example, women raising boys or men raising girls? Anything negative?
Reggie, he's thinking.
Yes.
No, I'm sorry. I think there's something going on in my house downstairs. That's why. I think somebody's fighting. I apologize. But you said, is there any negative what?
Aspects. You think there's any negative aspects for a woman raising a man or a man raising a woman?
I'm not going to say negative. There's downfalls and upsides to anything. You know what I'm saying? So you can't really say a negative aspect. And that's all about people's perspective as well too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I really can't sit here because what might be negative to me, I hit somewhere in somebody else's, in somebody else's household. You know what I'm saying? So it's really all upon your opinion, your perspective on it. To be honest with you, that's like a valid answer.
If anything, I think there's more positive than there is negative. If anything, the positive side of a woman raising a boy to be a man, like Reggie said earlier, they'll be more in tune with their emotions.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that.
Honestly, I treat both the boys and my daughter the same. I don't treat them any different because of their sex. Like, okay. I treat them all the same in the sense where all right, it's okay to be emotional about something. If you're sad about something, cry about it, but you're not going to spend your time dwelling on it. Cry about it, get over it, man up, woman up, let's go. I don't want them to feel like just because they go through a little something that they can just dwell on it, stay stuck on it, and linger on it, you know?
Oh, but I do like that you mentioned that you said cry about it, you know, get over it, because at least you're letting them know that their feelings are valid. In
it's
a way.
Okay
it's okay to feel what you feel. To whatever situation, what's going on, as opposed to maybe how we grew up, where, and I have an older brother and I have a younger brother. My stepdad is my younger brother's father. Okay. So, you know, I saw firsthand the way my stepdad would tell my brothers, you know, stop crying. There's no need to cry about that. Like, man up. So I did see that for myself. It wasn't acceptable. It wasn't valid for a boy to be crying. Yeah. Like, that's a female trait, basically.
Yeah. As long as you're crying for a certain amount of time, you're not going to sit here and cry all day. Like,
right. But just to acknowledge their feelings. And, you know, that's the important part.
Let's say if we at the park and they fall, I'll go check on them. You're not bleeding, okay. You crying, sit down, relax for a little while. Once you're done, you got over that whole emotion. Go ahead, go play now.
Right.
I'm not gonna let you be like, you know, if you fall, okay, just get up. I'm gonna go check on you, make sure you're good, get over the little moment, and go ahead. And I'm the same way with my daughter. She's a girl. You would think that I'll be more like, oh, princess, come here. No, get up, come here. Let me see. You okay?
It's a lot different.
Sit down for a little while, relax, and then go play. I don't want her. Oh, okay, and they'll be fighting. Guys, stop, please. I'm trying to record.
You know what's crazy? That my mom was very emotionless. So my mom would be that type of parent. And I was such an emotional child. So my mom was always trying to, you know, basically just make it seem like I was always too sensitive, too emotional to things growing up.
My mom didn't really show much emotions either. And much of the whole I love you stuff growing up, I don't really remember that, the hugs and the kisses. And I'm like that with all four of them. I go to my 16-year-old's room and he's laying there, he's into anime. I don't like it, but it's something that he's into. So I'll sit there and be like, oh, what are you watching? And he'll tell me whatever he's watching. I'll sit there, hug him, watch a show with him, because, you know, show him that I love him, and it's okay to hug your mother. It's okay to kiss your mother, because once they get a certain age, they don't want to hug you and kiss you no more. I do it with all of them.
I don't know about that. Till this day, I still kiss and hug my mom. Shit.
Maybe my mom is not like that. She's not the affectionate. I got my affection and my loving side from my grandmother, because my grandmother was always like that. So
no, and it's crazy because
when my mom tries it now, it just seems awkward. Like if I hug her or kiss her now, it's like
growing up she wasn't like that, but now that we're older, she's more affectionate, and she's very affectionate with our kids. But with us, she really wasn't like that.
Oh, she's a different grandparent than she was parent.
Yes, and that happens a lot with grandparents. I hear that they try to make up for whatever they didn't get to do with their grandkids.
Right.
Reggie, I was saying that the benefits, I had agreed with you because Reggie has stepped away, guys. That from a boy being raised by his mom is that, you know, he's more connected with his emotions.
I'm sorry, it's so much drama going on right now, yo. Oh man. Say it one more time, I apologize.
That the benefits of a boy growing up with his mother is that he's more connected with his emotions.
Yes, correct. Yes. You do get that, because, you know, you're not, some moms, because you know how, like you said, like if you're crying, a man's gonna say, yo, what you crying for, blah, stop crying, suck it up, whatever it may be. But then you have moms like, no, don't tell him that. Okay, come here, baby, it hurt, you can let it out. Oh my God.
Those are the ones that grow up being mama's boys.
Yeah,
exactly.
We don't want no mama's boys. I know I don't.
It's not fun. I was with one. It's not fun.
It definitely isn't. And another thing, for example, that I think is a positive when it comes to the mom raising the boy is that I'm sorry, my kids are driving me crazy. All right, let's say, for example, I'm going to give you an example. There was one day that my boys came back. They were with their father on Father's Day. And they came back laughing. I'm like, what happened? They were like, Mommy, we went to a whole bunch of girls' houses. I was like, what? And they started counting how many different girls' houses they went to on Father's Day to get gifts for their father. So
wow.
Where's the problem in that?
Where's the yeah.
Where's the problem in that?
That's a huge problem. And they were, listen, I was like, did he introduce all of them as his girlfriend or as his friend? And they were like, girlfriend. He said all of them were their girlfriend. What are you teaching them right there, Reggie?
What am I teaching there? That they have options when they're not together. When, hey, me and your mom is not together, fellas. You don't need to actually stick to one person. You have options. Yes, you have options. Oh. And then when you finally can sort through the options and pick out the right one, you go ahead and do that. But right now, live your life, have fun, but be safe with it. That's what I would tell my son.
No, you know what I tell
Why do options have to get introduced to your children?
Because options are everywhere in the world. You have you have job options, you have music options, you have food options, you have women options, women have men options. What do you mean? Options is there. Let them know that.
No,
you know what's one of the things that, and I'm gonna say that real women love in a man is when he's a great father. So you don't think that maybe he does that to portray the fact that he's a great father to turn these females on?
Yes.
Well, it's not about a portraying, because when he's with his sons, you don't know what's happening. He can be, to his sons, he could be the best dad ever. When he's
but look at what, on Father's Day, you decide to take your children on a let
me tell you
house hunt.
For real.
If he wasn't with his kids, then women were still going to give him them gifts. Understand that. He still could have went to each of the individual's houses and picked them up. It could have been a life lesson. Hey, fellas, look, let me teach y'all something. Know what I mean? That's why I say shit hit differently. That could have been a life lesson to teach his son something. You may not like what he's saying. At the end of the day, that's exactly what I mean. A man is going to teach his son a certain different way. A woman is going to teach her son a certain different way. So you may not like the way he did it, but for guys growing up, that could be a key message. Something, a memory. Good or bad. It could be like, you know what, y'all, I remember my dad went up there and brought me to all these chicks' house. I don't never want to be like that. Or I want to be just like that. Options. Exactly.
It is options, but I made sure you see that their dad told him that, and I gave them the other perspective of it.
So now tell me, let's flip the switch real quick. Okay, if Barbie was to take, if her son's father had custody of the kids, Barbie goes to pick them up on Mother's Day, and Barbie's taking her kids house hunting to a bunch of different men's houses, doing the same thing. Would it be the same thing?
Teaching her daughter options.
It would be the same thing, bringing your daughter or bringing your son around different men?
Whatever life lesson Barbie's trying to teach her daughter, that's what she's trying to teach her daughter.
I'll be considered the whole.
Yeah, but that's
but
your
it's
perspective.
cool if daddy does it. But when they came back and they told me all of that, I said, you see what daddy did? He introduced each and every one as the girlfriend. No, you don't have more than one girlfriend. When you grow up, if you're not ready to have one girlfriend, you do not give them the title.
There you go.
No, it's the truth. You do not give. Let me talk, because I let you talk. I let you talk. You do not give each and every girl the title of being your girlfriend. Okay, if you're still undecided of who you want to be your girlfriend, you let them know that they're just your friend and you're dating them and you have other options. But don't go lying to these females and having them thinking they're the only one when they're not.
I could agree with you on that.
Reg.
Yes, I
could agree with you on that.
Thank you, but I'm not finished.
But
so I said, when you grow up, make sure you don't do that. Okay, that's something you do not do to females, because, and I told them, you've seen mommy cry before, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Did you like when mommy cried? No. The same way you don't like for mommy to cry, you don't make no girl.
But guess what? They're gonna have to cry. At the end of the day, shit like that happens. Just like my son's gonna have to get his heart broken, and the female's gonna have to cry. Point blank. Period. That's life.
Well, there's lessons in that, of course. There's lessons, and I agree. But I'm talking about the part where options. I totally agree with you, Reggie. Options. That's fine. There's a lesson in. You can have options. It's the part where there's like, these are my girlfriends.
Yes,
that's a bit unsettling to me. That's like, okay.
Okay, so would it have been better? Would it have been like, these are my boos?
These are my friends.
These are my friends.
No. These are my boos.
No,
you can easily say these are my friends.
Yeah.
No, I want to say these are my boos. Girlfriend, I can understand because girlfriend is a major title.
Exactly.
My boo. You can be anybody's fucking boo. Girls say, "Hey boo," all day. These are my boos.
But is a boo not a friend?
These are my boos.
Is a boo not a friend? So you can't. What's wrong with using the F word and making the lesson be? What's wrong with friends? Boo? You can have friends of the opposite sex.
What's wrong? What's wrong with boo?
What's wrong with friend?
There's nothing wrong with it, but so what's wrong with boo?
There's no need for the extra.
For you to tell. That sounds romantic. That sounds like a romantic situation.
You're just giving her that title in front of your kids so she can feel special.
That's not perspective. Look up the meaning of boo.
The fact, like, I don't get it. Like, just cause I don't have to use the word you want. I can use whatever definition that I want to use and tell.
Yeah, but look, that he used the word girlfriend, and that stood in their head. They're all his girlfriends because they know girlfriend is just one. You're supposed to only have one, not more than
I guess we're going to disagree to this, and this is where it comes into the part where mommy's going to have her perspective, daddy's going to have his perspective. Point blank, period. And that's where it's at. You see,
I'm speaking for myself. I'm not disagreeing the fact that you can have options. That's fine. That's
all. Now you're saying it's all about
normal.
Wordplay.
Yeah, because with your children, you have to be careful with
you're deceiving with your words.
Man, listen, let me tell you something. Hold on. You know what I mean? People, yeah, I can hear what I want. People can tell me what I want to, what they want to tell me.
You're gonna hear what you want.
As I got older, I deciphered on what I want, or I make my own perspective. Because guess what? His dad said that, but you know what? His friends are gonna be like, "Oh, these are my hoes." So you gonna tell him not to say hoes? Like, what you mean? He's gonna get different perspective from everywhere else. So now it's his decision, their decision to pick who we want to do. You're gonna get people like, "Oh, those are my jumps. I just went to my jumps house." Nah, man. I went to my hoes house. I went to my friend's house. I went to my girlfriend's house. I went to my boo's house. Guess what? Your sons are gonna hear all of that any time of their life. Guess what? And I was up to them to decipher what word or what they're comfortable with or what wrong from right and how to use that. Point blank, period. Because your kids know a hoe is what a hoe means, what a boo means. So now if they decide that that's the wordplay they're going to use as they're growing up in their younger ages to do their math or whatever it may be, you got to let them live.
But Reggie, you can teach it. Again, this is just, I don't have kids. I'm just telling you, in my mind, the kind of parent that I would like to be. Will it work out that way if I have children? Probably not. But I have a blueprint in my brain, the kind of parent that I would want to be. So you give your tools to you give the tools to your child that you want, that they need to succeed in life, basically. So you can tell your child, "Oh, you're supposed to have one girlfriend or whatever." But like he said, eventually you'll go out into the real world and you'll make those decisions for yourself. If you ever decide to just have one person or to just basically do what you want and make the most of your life that you want, right? But you have mommy's advice, you have mommy's tools that she gave you in the back of your brain, right?
Let me tell you something.
Get him rolling his eyes. You're so disrespectful. Me
growing up in a 2-family house. My dad only had eyes for my moms. One he didn't look the other way. All he was dedicated to my moms. That's what it was when we was growing up. I saw that. I saw how it was supposed to be. Yes, he only had one person. He didn't flirt. He didn't have no girls on the side. He had no kids on the side. He didn't do any of that. Me? I wanted all of the hurt. I wanted all of the heat. You feel me? That's me. So
but did you end up doing it?
Did I end up doing what?
Did you end up do you have a bunch of wives and a bunch of side kids? No.
No, I did not end up. I know I didn't have end up a whole bunch of. Well, I mean, I had like 2 kids, 2 different baby mothers, but that's a different situation. But,
but you're no future.
Yeah, I understand. But what I'm saying is this: you can see something. Somebody can tell me. My dad tell me all the time, don't be out here having multiple women. Don't be out here, fucking everything. Don't be out here having babies everywhere. Don't be out here. And guess what I did? I went and fucked multiple women. I went out and did what I did because.
But you did things that
you do
exactly. But at some point you made some type of right decision because you don't have a bunch of multiple women with multiple kids. So at some point, what your dad told you or your mom told you, it's in your brain and stuck.
Nah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I would have been the future out here in these streets. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I used to be out here. Wow.
You can't speak of what would have been. You can only speak of what is.
See, but everybody goes through that phase. You went through that phase that you were supposed to go through, and you turned out to be a good, respectful man.
And you're a great father.
Yes.
Of course I am.
Oh, gosh.
Because you know why? You know what I'm going to tell my son? Listen, you have to show women respect. You have to never take away a woman's option. Because either way, if they're going to fuck with you, they're going to fuck with you. But at the same time, I'm going to tell them, don't treat some of these hoes too nice because they will fucking walk all over you.
I agree. I actually agree with that, though. I do actually agree with that lesson.
Yeah.
Because I have my younger brother, and my younger brother, I'm 11 years older than him. And I used to tell him those things growing up. And my brother is 23, 22?
No, if he's 11 years old, he's 2024. Knock it off.
Yeah, he's gonna be 24 in January. He's gonna be 24.
Reggie,
sorry, my math is horrible right now.
It's cool because
right. But it's very. I can count with one hand the times that my brother has come up to me with woman issues, and he's had girlfriends, and the thing is that he's very, very close to me and very close to my mom. His dad is in the picture. My stepdad always been in the picture. My stepdad was a great father to him. Mm-hmm. But the fact that he's so close with me, that he's so close to my mom, he doesn't have that. He's not the type of, to be the age that he is, he's not the type of man to want to be like with multiple women and have multiple girlfriends. Honestly, his mentality is more in like getting money.
I think a lot of men who are more raised by their moms do have that mentality where, especially if they've seen their mom hurt and go through things, mm-hmm. they don't want to put whatever woman they fall for in the future through the same thing because they see what it can do. And then for girls, like I say, for example, with Emma, with her dad.
Yeah.
Emma loves her father to death. You know how they say girls are daddy's girls?
Mm-hmm. Like, they gravitate more to their father.
Yes. So Emma is completely all towards her father, right? So Emma is the type of daughter, and I correct her on this all the time. So Emma is the type of daughter that she'll do anything to please her father. Mm-hmm. For example, if her dad is eating something that she's never tried before, and he wants her to try it, even if it's the most disgusting looking thing, if he's like, baby, could you please try it? Just try it for daddy. She'll do it just to please her father. Mm-hmm. And that pisses me the hell off. And I tell her, no, if you do not want to try it, do not try it. Oh, but daddy's going to get sad. I don't care if daddy's going to get sad. If it's something that you don't want to do, don't do it just for daddy. Because
we spoke about that.
Yeah, I do not want her to grow up to be that type of woman to do any and everything to please a man just for him to be content or to stay.
Right.
There's some females that raise their daughters like, you cater to your man, you do this for your man,
very
you do that.
Submissive to your man.
Yeah, no. Sorry, my daughter's gonna be just like me, and whoever doesn't like it, oh well, too bad. So sad. You don't want to be like mommy?
Oh wow.
You want to be like daddy. You hear that?
Yeah.
Everything's dad. Look, her dad is black. I'm Puerto Rican. What she says? She says she's black. She's not Puerto Rican. I'd be like, mm-hmm. Oh, you're half black, half Puerto Rican. No, my dad is black, so I'm black. I don't want to be Puerto Rican like you. Why? Because
you are what your father is, though.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Whatever. Well, he's half black, half Puerto Rican too.
The birth certificate says that is the truth.
I lost my train of thought. But
yeah, so you don't want her to.
Yeah, because if he says he's Puerto Rican, she'll say she's Puerto Rican. Mm-hmm. You get it? So anything to please her daddy. No, I don't want her to grow up to be like that. I'm sorry. My daughter's not going to be that type of girl to do anything and everything just to please him. Mm-hmm. So it's like I say, I treat them both the same, and with the boys is the same way. You do what you want, not because it's gonna make me happy or your father happy. You do as you please. My 12-year-old, he loves basketball. His dad is a great basketball player. That when we were dating, I wanted him to go to college and play ball. He could have made it to the NBA. That's how great he was. He still is. And he didn't do it. So now it's like that dream, he's living through it with my 12-year-old. There came a point where he had put him in 3 different basketball teams. So my son was eating, shitting, everything basketball. Yes. Right. And he was like, Ma, this is too much for me. I don't want to do it, but I don't want to hurt daddy. Here comes mommy. I'm sorry, but you got to take him out of one of the teams. It was a huge fight, but I don't care. He was doing it just for you. That's not right. We shouldn't raise our kids to do things just to please us. Is their life.
To take on the parent's dream.
Yeah, we can guide them as much as we can, teach them, prepare them for the future, but we can't, try to make them be what we didn't have a chance to be. Right, Reggie?
Yeah. I definitely agree with that. Now to piggyback off of your daughter, because her father is so influential in her life, that's a major responsibility for her dad to make sure that he stays on his A game, because of the simple fact that she cherishes his opinion and everything so much. He will be the stepping stone for anything else to come.
Yeah, and I hate that he has that power.
Why?
Because he doesn't know how to cherish and value it. He's gonna mess it up. I don't want him to mess her up.
So, okay, I understand you
why would he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I understand he's gonna mess it up, but can he say that? Would he be able to say that about you?
I'm not. He can't say that about me.
How?
Everything I do, before I do it, I make sure it's something that's going to be a positive for my kids. For example, we're not together. You not being around, knowing how much she values you, your presence, your everything, that's going to affect her.
Right.
Don't you think, Reggie? You being a dad of a...
Why isn't he around?
Because he doesn't want to.
Is that really...
Well, he's not around as much as he should.
As he should.
Is that the real reason?
He works 2 jobs.
Okay.
But like I said in the post that I put up the other day, you make time for who you want to make time for. Right? If you work 2 jobs on your day off, even if you're tired as hell, you're going to make time to come spend time with your kids. Right? What you think, Haydee?
Yes, you would make time for who you're going to make time for. Yes.
Especially,
yes, I agree. He should make time.
So that's why I feel that free time. He can mess up her whole idea and how relationships should be as she gets older, and I don't want that.
Because he's gonna mold his relationship with his daughter is gonna mold the relationships that she will have with men. In her life in the future.
Which brings me.
Is that something that you're concerned about?
Yes, which brings me to ask you: do you guys think that affects?
Absolutely.
Your relationship with your mom? Do you think, Reggie, it affected you, or in any negative or positive way with your relationships with females you've been with?
No, because I did what I wanted to do regardless.
No.
That's what it is. I'm a different type of person that went out there and wanted to experiment shit. My moms can tell me one thing, dad can tell me one thing. I'm still going to do it because I want to learn it for myself. So it's not going to affect anything. My relationship with my moms is my relationship with my moms. Do I look at that and transcend it into relationships with women? Of course. But half of the shit that I used to do to women don't got shit to do with my relationship with my mom, is because I wanted to be either an asshole or jerk or whatever it wanted to be, because that's my decision.
Yeah, I get it. How about you, Haydee?
For me, I grew up in a very strict household. My stepdad and my mom were extremely strict. They wanted me to be more of the stay at home. You have to learn how to be a woman of the house and cook and clean and do all these things that women do. Very old school, very traditional. But I was a rebel. And as much as they told me I needed to behave and do things a certain way, like Reggie, I did what I wanted to do, regardless of how they felt about it. But the tools that they did give me, the advice, the discipline that they instilled in me, thank God, I might have not applied it in my life as a teenager, but as an adult, I have applied all those things that they've taught me, you know?
Yeah.
But growing up, hell no. You can't. I had a problem with authority. You can't tell me what to do. I do what I want. And you know what's crazy? That as an adult, I still kind of sometimes have that attitude. I hate to be told what to do. I know what I have to do. Like, don't tell me what to do.
Depending if somebody's choking you in the process.
Lord.
You know, this is not ladies' pitch, Reggie. We have
So what? You bring a.
This is a PG-13, not even PG-13, PG Haydee right now. Like, why are you trying to bring?
And you bring a toxic
NR-17.
Like, you bring a toxic nigga on this show, you're gonna get toxic answers.
So you're back to being toxic? What happened to your toxicity was being retired last Friday?
Yeah, I saw you.
So it's resurrected? It's resurrected now?
It's still what you call it. It's still retired. I'm not.
Yeah, because I'm definitely not bringing it out of you right now. So
yes, you are, actually.
No, I'm not.
The new nickname we gave Reggie, guys, is Chocolate Poppy. But only we can call him that. But I don't see nobody else calling you Chocolate Poppy.
Mm-hmm. We put a stamp on that.
Somebody might want to call me Chocolate Poppy. I don't know, yo.
Well, they got to come through these. The third one ain't here, but they got to go through the 3 New York City chicks.
Yes.
In order. And you know we reckless and
super reckless,
ruthless and aggressive.
Straight from the Bronx. You feel
exactly.
me?
That's how Woody wanted to say it.
Bronx.
Yeah. That's so stupid, Joe.
Okay, so Reggie, I appreciate your opinion and your point of view, and I do get what you're saying. Thank you for giving us mothers that are raising our boys to become men the credit that you did. And I do get what you're saying. It just hits different. And I can actually relate to that when I gave you the example that I did when me scolding my son, and when his father did it, it just hit different. So I agree with you 100%, but I still feel that anything a man can do, I can do. So I would still say, yes, I can raise my boys to be men. I don't have to say, realistically, who sits here? What teenage boy sits here and wants to discuss how an ejaculation feels with either his male or female parent?
I did. I told my moms about when I got my first nut. I told my moms about that.
You told your moms.
Yeah, because my dad wasn't here.
Oh, you told your mom. Oh, okay.
Because my dad wasn't home, so I had to tell somebody. What the fuck?
So you're okay with telling your mom. But
maybe you felt more comfortable. Maybe you felt more comfortable telling your mom.
I'm going to be honest with you. I used to tell my moms everything because of the simple fact that my dad used to always be home. Always be at work. So me coming to my mom's, I used to tell my moms, look, moms, I'm about to have a shorty over. Blah blah. I even used to use my mom as a prop. Like after I finished smashing, I tell my moms to come downstairs and knock on the door and say, "Dad, I need to take her somewhere just so the shorty can leave." Like this is the type of shit that me and my mom used to do.
That's the relationship I want with my boys.
You see what I'm saying?
That's why if I have a child, I want a boy. But knowing the type of teenager I was, God is gonna bless me with a daughter, I'm sure.
I used to, one time I was smashing in the room. My mom walked in the room, saw me smashing, and she turned around and said sorry and closed the door. Like, what parent is going to do that? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on.
I'll throw some extra condoms in there. Are you good? Y'all need water?
You need snacks?
But all right, so things like that. Look, I'm glad you said that. You can talk to that with your mom. A boy can discuss that with his mom. STDs. When I was studying for my medical assistant, my kids were my patients. Like I used to study with them. As I was doing that, I would tell them, show them pictures, like this is this is that. Condoms, I've showed them how to use condoms. I feel any and every conversation that I can have with my kids can have with their father, they can have with me. Even before we started recording, I asked them, I was like, guys, be honest with me. Has there ever been a moment in your life where you wish you had your dad around because you didn't dare ask me a question because I was a woman and you prefer to ask him because he's a man? They're like, no. Do you think there's ever going to be a moment in your life where you feel you can't come to me because I'm a woman and I'm not a man and I'm not going to understand? And they were like, no, you're doing good so far. So far, the questions that we have, you always answer them.
Well, they feel comfortable.
Yeah. And it made me feel good because, listening to other people's opinions and perspective on things, it does make you think. So, when people don't agree with me, I'm like, why don't they agree with me? When they tell me why, I like to look into things and see. So that's why I go and I ask the boys, because you just never know if the kids are feeling that way. Mm-hmm. But thank God to this day, I'm good. So anything that he can teach them, I can teach them. And Shad, I want to give a shout before we end this.
No, you can't teach him that. No, you can't. No, I'm sorry. Before we go, what? You can't teach your son how to stroke a woman. I'm sorry. Fuck out of here.
I can.
No, you can't.
I'll buy a strap on.
Even if you do teach them, they still don't know how to stroke. A lot of them, not all. So cut it out.
And whatever.
Cut it out.
It takes practice, right?
Listen, I will buy a strap on and start doing the motions.
Then I'm looking at you like you're bugging because fuck out of here. I'm not want to see my mom coming.
I'm like, wait, what?
What?
You lost me there, Barb. You lost me there.
Whatever I can teach them, I'm sure they can YouTube it.
No. Okay? Yeah. Whatever you can't teach them is life experiences, or their dad can tell them that.
Life will teach them.
Yeah, life will teach them, or their friends, or like I said, one of their mentors. They'll learn along the way.
Hey, yo,
I would do my best.
Yo, tell your sons to come holler at me, yo. Straight like that.
No.
You'll have wholesome men that are whores at the beginning of their life.
I don't want them to be whores. I know it's a phase they have to go through, but I'm hoping that it doesn't last for a very long time.
They'll be whores, and then they'll turn into great men afterwards.
All right, so when they start their whoring phase, I'll be like, hit up Uncle Reggie.
No, they're probably in their whoring. I gotta teach them now.
No, they're good boys. They're not there yet.
You see, there you go. Please don't let them be late bloomers either, because if you do late bloomers, a lot of they're gonna get their heart broke a lot. Shit's gonna end up happening. You gotta let them handle that early. How old is your oldest?
16.
Oh yeah, he's already getting buns.
No, he's not. He's home every day all day.
He's getting buns. You
Probably
think
when I leave the house, right?
You think he's going to basketball practice? He's going to trash something. What's wrong with you? Like, you crazy as hell. Oh, mommy going out. Mommy was out with her podcast friends the other night. Come here, Mom. Come over. Let me smash that real quick.
That's why he be calling me like, Mom, what time you coming back?
Exactly, because he wants to find out how long he can get this quick ass 5-10 minute.
Well, Barbie got 6 months to prepare them for what's gonna go down. So yeah, you got more than enough time.
I'll teach them the right way. But before I close out, I want to give a huge shout out to Juice. Guys, if you guys are not following him, Chilling with Juice podcast, that clip that I played earlier is actually from his podcast. I'm not sure when he's going to release that episode, but when he does, I will share it on my page and let you guys know. So, I end my episodes with a quote. Before I do, you guys want to give anyone advice, Reggie?
Yes.
Any single dads?
This is my quote for everybody out there. Play the game. Don't let the game play you.
Oh God.
Haydee.
Why do I have to go after him? I should have just went first because I'm just shaking my head. Just thank you for having me on. Even though, like I said, I'm the parentless one here. But thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for joining. I appreciate your feedback. It's always good to see, Reggie and I are parents. It's always good to see how anybody else thinks about everything. People with, let me shut up. All right. So my quote is as follows. Dear strong single mother and fathers, while most are out partying, You're spending time with your child. You don't bring different men or women around because you choose not to confuse your child. What a man or woman can do for you means nothing if they can't bring the role model that your child needs. You're not single because you have to be. You're single because you choose to be. I salute you for that. Yes, and I am single because I chose to be, not because I have to be, people. For those who are out there asking. So, guys, if you're not following Haydee and Lexi, she's not here, but Haydee and Lexi at Ladies Pitch Podcast. Make sure to follow them. And my favorite guy, Mr. Roundz, you got to do your little intro, outro.
Oh, man, what up? It's your boy Reggie Roundz, aka Mr. Roundz, baby. And please make sure y'all go follow Mr. _Roundz with a Z. Don't put an S. Respect the Z, please. Thank you. My podcast is the Reggie Roundz Show. You can find that on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. Thank you.
And thank you again, guys, for joining me. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to give me your feedback on this episode. Any questions, just hit up my DM. Stay safe and stay blessed. See you soon.